It's really, so that's a little tricky. I'm also, what's sort of tricky is that not only am I a Yankee, but I am clearly a damn Yankee. And the distinction is this: a Yankee is obviously just from wherever he's from, someplace bad. But a damn Yankee is somebody who moves to Johnson City, buys a house, and marries a Southern girl. Rum-pum, thank you. Keep those. Second show, don't bring the kids. No, I've been here. Jerry's been a friend of mine for almost 10 years now, and his son Sean. And I was living and working in Los Angeles for 25 years. I did a lot of television. In fact, I was very blessed this week. I have an agent in Knoxville called Talent Trek, and they've been sending me out every once in a while, which was nice. And so I booked a gig on Army Wives this week. So I was in Charleston this week shooting Army Wives, a show called Battle Scars, and it'll be on, I guess, this time next year. They're in their 6th season. So that was good, because the last television show I had done was in 2004. It was Sabrina, Teenage Witch. So I had the obit in my mind in the New York Times, and the last thing he did before shuffling off this coil was Sabrina, Teenage Witch. So now at least they'll say Army Wives. There's something a little more dignified about this. But people ask me, I've been here now 12 years. The reason I moved here, other than I'm sure God wanted me to, was my wife died very young, not unlike Billy Isaacs, who left way too young and would have loved to have seen today, 10 years ago in June. And what a monument to him, his family, and this marvelous, marvelous place. Anyway, my wife died at 51. She was Marcia the Car Hop on Happy Days. She was Wonder Woman's sidekick and a Candy. And when she died, the fun went out of it. And, oh, that's all right. Somebody will use them for something. They're very good with rodents. If you put one up near a sort of mouse hole or anything, things go away. Anyway, when my wife died, I had a friend who was teaching at ETSU, and he said, "Would you like a break?" And I said, "Yeah." So he said, "Why don't you come teach for a while?" So I have a master's degree from Temple University in Philly, and I did teach early in my career. So I came here, was going to stay a year, and I flew in from, I can still see this, it was January of 2000, January 8th. Can't remember my own name, but I remember January 8th. I left Beverly Hills, where my home was, and it was 80 degrees. I flew into Johnson City on January 8, 2000, and it was 8. I hadn't seen single digits for quite a while. So, and then we're coming down to land, and this is before the new airport. So it looked to me like we were landing at the Greyhound bus terminal. I mean, it didn't look like an airport, really. I thought, we have a toilet on the plane. Why are we making a comfort stop? It seemed silly. So we come up to this thing, and of course, there was no, you got off the plane, and sort of like a 1940s movie. I expected Humphrey Bogart to be waving. And we walked across the concrete to get into the building. And then all of a sudden I looked down and I thought, there's something on my nose. It's ice. In that short little walk, I had gotten ice here. So now I got into the terminal, and a guy comes up to me in bib overalls. Now, I had never seen anybody in bib overalls in the real world. I did on Dukes of Hazzard. But I never saw any person in bib overalls. So he goes up to me and he said, "You that actor, fella?" I thought, oh my God, it shows. I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I'm here to take you to the university." I said, "Great, terrific." So we go outside, and there is a red pickup truck. I thought, okay, well, we certainly left Beverly Hills, that's for sure. So we get into the truck and we're driving down from the airport, and he says, "So what church you go to?" Oh my God. I mean, I came from LA where it was perfectly acceptable to say, "So how much you make last year? What'd you pay for your house? 400,000? What you gonna get for it? 625? I can tell. That's okay. But if you said to anybody in LA, "So what church you go to?" They go, "How dare you? How dare you ask a personal question?" So it is amazing, the cultural differences. I've gotten very used to it. I have at least 2 students every semester. I've been here now almost 12 years. Married again. God bless her. Married a Southern girl. My first wife was a Unitarian. Oh God, if there is a God, help me if I need help. That lasted 42 minutes. I was 22, she was 18. That was dumb. And then waited 10 years, married my second wife, who lasted almost 23 years. She was Jewish, and now I'm married to a Baptist. I'm hoping to die before the Buddhist or the Muslim enters. There aren't too many other possibilities here if we're going to, keep going. So, but I have acclimated. I am the first Irish Catholic that most of my students have seen in the flesh. I usually tell them that I had the horns filed down. They come up close, take a look, and the tail was removed. And I get at least 2 students every semester who come up to me and go, "We love you, Mr. Cronin. Shame you're going to hell." So it's a nice thing to have certainty in your life. So anyway, it really is wonderful to be here. It was very hard coming from LA in a lot of ways. I bought a house on the Tree Streets. I paid here I go. I won't tell you what church I go to, but I paid $125,000 for this house at 418 West Locust. And I called a friend of mine in Newport Beach, who's a psychiatrist there and has practice on Fashion Island. I said, "Hey, Dr. Blinder." He said, "Yeah, I just bought a house. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3,000 square feet for $125,000. I can't pave my driveway for $125,000, which is true. So, but of course, finding people who can take care of you, like pool people. I didn't have a pool there, but my next house, I had a pool. So I did learn a lesson, and I hope I don't offend anybody here, but I've already done some of that. But do not do business with people who have Tri-Cities in their name. Thank you. I managed to do business with a pool people that happen to have their name in the title of their company, and that didn't work out very well. Then I found a guy on the street who seemed to be cleaning pools. I got him in for a while. That didn't work out so well. It was like having Dan Aykroyd in a Saturday Night Live sketch. So then, God bless them, I found the Isaacs, and I called and I said, "Please help me. I've been using somebody in Kingsport. They come every 3rd Tuesday if they feel good." I said, "I'm looking for a pool company, please." So I forget who I dropped, probably Dave, I guess. And I said, "Can you help me?" He said, 20 people would have to die for you to get on the list. I thought, oh, great. I found the one decent company in the city, and then I got to, get on the death list. So he said, "Yeah, we do so much business around here that I have an unlisted phone number," which I thought that was really cool. That was very LA. There was a great restaurant in LA that was so hard to get into. They had an unlisted phone number. So I thought, yes, a pool company with an unlisted phone number. Anyway, they were kind enough to help me out, and then I met my buddy Jerry and his son Sean, and the Isaacs people have been part of my family for the last, I guess, 8 years or so. So it's been a wonderful relationship, and I wish them all the best in their wonderful new facility. And I'd like to close this. Didn't mean to do all this, but put an actor in front of a mic. It's not good. I've been doing this since I was 3, and I'm 71, so this is 68 years of this. I got into the business being hustled by my father for drinks, so not a very dignified start. I was 3 years old. He taught me 5 songs. the Rose of Tralee, Danny Boy, the Irish Soldier song, Back to Donegal, and Galway Bay. So I knew those 5 songs at 3 years of age. So he would carry me because I was too fat to walk. Irish babies were fat in the United States because they were all starving to death in Ireland. So once we got here, we ate. So I couldn't walk till I was about 6. And they had to just carry me around. Here, son, have another potato. They have plenty of potatoes. Have another potato. So I was at an 8th grade weight in 3. And the legs were short. So he carried me into the bar, he put me on the bar, and he drank Boilermakers. If you were Irish, you drank Boilermakers. If you were Polish, you drank depth charges. Same drink. Shot of beer, a shot and a glass of beer. So it was 1944, and a shot of Corby's, which is the little parrot, kind of terrible whiskey. And it was 35 cents for a shot and a beer. So I'm sitting on the bar, I'm 3 years old. He orders a shot and a beer, knocks him back, and he says, "All right, boy, go ahead." Oh, the pale moon was rising above the green mountain. So all these Irishmen are shellacked up against the bar. They'd been there since the Depression. And they looked down and they said, "Give that man a drink." Well, he's too young. Give his old man a drink. So I knew 5 songs, he got 5 shots, 5 beers, and then carried me out. We went to the next bar. So that's how I got started in show business. I always wanted to get on Jay Leno just to tell that story, you know, because it's everybody's, "Oh, I started when I was in Hamlet," or "I was the Christmas angel." I was hustled for drinks by my old man in every Irish bar in Philadelphia. So anyway, I sort of stayed with it, and I was on a show called the Hornet-Hearted Children's Hour, which was very big in Philly and New York. Eddie Fisher was on there, and a lot of people went on to do stuff, and it was great fun to do. And then I went to 16 years of Catholic school. The tick is just beginning to go away. 5 years of therapy, and so we're working on it. And but the education was good. Did a lot of theater, and anyway, got involved, blah, blah, blah. So finally, I'd like to close this little thing here by, I was in, the best role I ever played was Arthur in Camelot in 1965. I was 25, Kennedy had just died. And there was something very meaningful about that experience at that time. And the show has always stayed with me. Most times you do a show, you forget, you move on. But I've always stayed with that show, and every time there's something wonderful like the opening, I'm reminded of the end of Camelot. Arthur is ready to fight this battle, and this young boy comes on and talks to him about the round table and what it's going to mean. And then the boy leaves, and it's Thomas Mallory who will write Morte d'Arthur. And Pellinor, who is sort of Arthur's sidekick, comes wandering over and says, "Arthur, what are you doing? We have a battle to fight." And Arthur says, "Battle, Pelly? I've won my battle." He says, "Who is that boy?" He says, "One of what we all are, Pelly. Less than a drop in the motion of the sunlit sea. But it seems some of the drops sparkle, Pelly. Some of them do sparkle." And so I think of that today. Some of the drops sparkle. And Isaac Spools and their lovely family and their wonderful team are part of that sparkling, and you're all wonderful to be here to help them celebrate this opening. God bless you on this Easter weekend, and thank you very much.